All right.
Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North, fresh from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
Oh, sweet, sweet Mariners, baby.
It is time for sweet, sweet stories coming out of spring training, but it is a little too early for that. If you couldn't tell by my hat, we will be talking about the NFL today. But last week was a pretty analytical week for us. Mock draft, talking about some Husky draft prospects. Welcome to the lighter side of Kicking It with Coach Red because we have a fun, comedy packed week. And to start off the week, we are going to be talking about the attractiveness of NFL primary starting quarterbacks from the 2023 season. So, we're going to go down each one, give them a grade or a rating from 1 to 10 on whether they are hot or whether they are not. But before we jump into that, why don't I tell you a little bit about us? If you're looking for a guy that is happily engaged to the love of his life, that is a woman, and I've never rated men on their looks before, but here we are. If you're looking for a guy like that, you're looking for a guy like me, your boy Coach Red. You can find me on X at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also, find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, leave a comment or two. And if you're looking for a guy that is happily married to the love of his wife, they have a young, precocious 3-year-old together, and he is ready to tell you what really gets him bricked up about these NFL quarterbacks. If you're looking for a guy like that, you're looking for a guy like Cain.
Yes, I do have the love of my wife. Yes, I'm Kane. You can find me over on Twitter at Kane2406, on YouTube at Kane06, TikTok Kane0624. Also, follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follows. Do it, freaking do it.
So we're going to start off with the AFC and then go to the NFC back to back. So AFC East, NFC East, go back and forth a little bit. We're each going to give our rating and then I'll give you a total. And then at the end, we will tell you who was the least hot and who was the hottest according to the Kicking It with Coach Red squad. Kane, you're going to lead us off. We're in the AFC East. Number one at the top, this is all on ESPN. I did it. I think it's all based off of city name alphabetical order. So we're starting off with Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Kane, what did you give to Josh?
I gave Josh Allen a 7. I think he is a handsome young man. Uh, he's a strong man, right? From Wyoming. That dude is strong. And also to land the likes of Haley Steinfeld, you gotta be somewhere with the looks, right? Am I right? So
You're
I'm gonna
right. You're
give
right.
Josh Allen a 7. Coach Red, what are you giving him?
Give me a 9 for Josh Allen.
Ooh,
Yeah, because he gives me,
generous,
well,
super generous.
he reminds me a lot of a guy that has my heart in Ty France. They look very similar. So I decided to, with the Northwest representation, Josh Allen for me clocks in at a 9. So grand total for Josh Allen of 16. Next
Okay.
guy we've got is Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Kane, where's he sitting for you?
I got Tua at a 5. Honestly, he's just like a average looking dude. I can't give you know no love to the lefty on this one, but he's just an average dude. He's a little kid in a big kid's body. Coach Red, what do you got?
For Tua, I give him a 6. Uh, his beard game is a little lackluster. If he had a nice beard on him, yeah, get him up to 7, maybe even an 8. But good looking guy, like you said, middle of the road. I thought he was a little bit above average, but if he would have had a little bit fuller beard instead of the little patchiness that he's got going on there, he would have climbed the rankings a little bit more for me. So between the two of us, Tua clocks in at an 11. All right, next guy we've got Patriots quarterback Matt Corkle Jones.
I gave him a 3. I just he doesn't have anything going for him, in my opinion. Really, he looks like a little kid. I mean, then he's got the dad bod kind of thing going, and it all just doesn't mesh well for me. I know we're going off looks, but like his personality just stinks too.
No personality needed. They're
Like,
just
I
rating the
know,
looks here.
I know, but I give him a 3. I don't think he's that interesting. Especially like he's just not very attractive as one would say. Coach Red, what do you got?
Mac Jones for me, I gave him a 6. He looks like a guy that could be just living in a small town, works at the local feed store, and when you come to get some hay for your horses, he's the guy that loads you up. Just a good, wholesome young man is what he looks like to me. So I gave him a 6.
All right, that's fair.
So he clocks in at a 9 for the combo. Next guy we've got is Jets quarterback Zach Wilson.
I'm giving Zach an 8. I mean, he's got the looks. He's photogenic. He's got a devilish little smile to him. And to bag Cougars as he does, man. And you should see some of the girlfriends he's had. Stunning. Like the dude is very good looking. Coach Red, what do you got?
I gave him a 3. And I
Oh,
gave Zach Wilson a 3 because he looks like a teenage guy that has a winter job being an elf for Santa in the mall. Exactly what he looks like to me. Little elf boy.
oh,
And sorry,
jeez.
I couldn't give him more than a 3. At one point, I gave him 4, but then I knocked it down to a 3 just because couldn't get the elf out of my mind.
That's good.
So that's a grand total of 11 for Zach Wilson. So, top guy between the two of us out of this division, Josh Allen, and the guy at the bottom, Mac Jones. All right, going over to the NFC East. We're going to start off with Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Gave Dak a 5, and that's because I also think he is just an average looking guy. And all of the here we go just really it just I all year long hearing that. And if you're in a close knit circle, I no. I'm gonna give him a 5. Coach Red, what do you got?
Dak Prescott's getting a 7 from me. He looks very similar to Tua, but he's got the good looking beard. That thing is right and tight, baby. So he gets bumped up a little bit. I had 2 out of 6. So you give me Dak in at a 7, which bumps him to a 12 combined between the two of us.
Great beard game though. I will tell
Yeah,
you that his beard looks impeccable.
it's good. The next guy, this one was a little bit tougher. You had Danny Dimes as the quarterback for the Giants, but the guy who started the most for him last year is Tommy DeVito. So, Kane, what do you got for Tommy DeVito on the looks?
Dude, I'm giving Tommy DeVito an 8. I mean, that dude is just kind of like the whole package. You know? Yeah, he still lives at home. Yeah, he still got mom's cooking. But boy, oh boy, he's sitting there looking pretty. Always, you can take off his helmet mid game, and he's just got that swoosh going. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him an 8. Coach Red, what do you give him, Tommy
Giving
DeVito?
Tommy a 4. And Tommy DeVito, to me, I mean, last name Italian. It looks like his great grandfather had a pizzeria, and every single generation of DeVito has worked in that. He's still young, so he's kind of working the counter. He doesn't know the whole operations, so he's kind of the eye candy. But at the same time, you know that he's going to gain like 100 pounds and be working in the back at some point. So for me, Tommy DeVito got a 4. So that puts him at a 12 overall.
Okay.
Next guy we've got is Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
Kane,
it's always a hurt season.
Where are we
Always hurt
going?
season. I'm also giving him an A. He just has all the right looks, right? He's got the goatee going, looks great. He's got a great smile, the earrings, his demeanor, dude, just straight on. Dude is a good looking man. Coach Red, what do you give Jalen Hurts?
I have Jalen clocking in at a 7. Like
Okay.
like I said, I think he's right up there with Dak Prescott. Doesn't have the beard game, but I think that he is a general better overall looking guy when you compare him to Dak. And that's why he kind of has there. Dak gets the bump because of the tight beard game for me. But yeah, Jalen Hurts is just well put together. He's a handsome little devil.
Handsome lad.
So that puts Jalen at a cumulative score of 15. All right, next guy we've got is Washington Commanders quarterback Sam Howell. Kane, what's your rating?
I gave him a 4. Every time I see Sam Howell, he's so disheveled. He's just like hair's in a mess, his beard's all wonky. I don't think he uses proper skincare technique. I mean,
You should hang out with my daughter. She's all into the skincare.
he just looks bummy to me. He really does. Coach Red, what do you got for Sam?
I gave Sam a solid 6 here. I said he has a sophisticated frat boy look. So he looks like he's the most put together in the frat house. Like, yeah, he's an
How
NFL
how
quarterback, but
how
he looks
crazy
like he's
did
a little put together. Not like
how
mid game after throwing a pick.
well right, but as anytime I've seen him outside of the game and stuff too, he just looks not there.
Well,
And what's the most crazy frat in North Carolina?
no
I
clue.
mean,
Wasn't part of the Greek life, but he just looks like that to me. Well, I know that you're hating on him. That's why he got our lowest cumulative score in the NFC East at 10. And our highest score in the NFC East, Jalen Hurts. All right, going on over to the AFC North, starting off with MVP, Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
I'm giving MVP Lamar a 6 on my scale. As we're going through this, I see that our scales are pretty different. As pretty night and day. It seems like I don't know, man. Just Lamar just looks crazy to me. He's got that crazy eye, and like, yeah,
Kane likes himself the crazy guys.
uh, he's a little bit better than average looking, but not by much. So I'm gonna give him a 6. Coach Red, what are you giving Lamar?
I gave Lamar a 2 overall. It's not doing for me. I mean, he looks like a caricature sketch a little bit. He's got the dreads, his nose is a little bit large, and it just doesn't look like it all goes together the right way for me. So I just wasn't feeling it with Lamar. So total cumulative for us on Lamar is an 8.
Okay, all
Next
right.
one, Joe Burrow
Joey Burr.
from the Cincinnati Bengals. Kane, where's
God,
he? Where's he land on your rating scale?
give me a 9. Gosh, Joe Burrow is just a handsome little devil, as one would say.
I said that
He's
earlier.
he, he you see him show up on game day, dude. He's looking fresh to death.
He's got that drip.
I mean, after winning a natty, bro, just how great he looks smoking that cigar, right? Like the dude does everything so cool and he's great looking. Give me a 9 on Joe Burr. Coach Red, what do you got for it?
Give me a 10 for Joe Burr.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got a timeless look. I said that it's
percent.
classic yet modern. Like you could put him back in the 50s with the
Oh
Rat
yeah,
Pack. He's gonna fit right in. You
bro,
put
the
it
comb
today.
over. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's got the little different looks, but and like you said, he's got that drip coming into the stadium. I mean, The dude's just a good-looking guy. I would argue to say he's looking a little sexy, if you will.
Oh, oh,
Boom.
like it.
Joe Burr, cumulative score 19. All right. Next guy we've got is Joe Flacco, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Kane,
Right, right.
what you got?
I gave Joe Flacco a 6. I mean, as of right now, he's in dad mode. Who doesn't love a good dad, right? Looking good while being a dad, it's knockout. But Joe's got a pretty good, decent looking beard. He's very structurally sound in the face. I just like it. Give me a 6. Coach Red, what do you got?
I got a 6 for him as well. He's
Okay.
got that little touch of gray in the beard starting to show up. Hair up top, still looking all one color. The only thing that kind of dropped it down for me, I was thinking 7, but you were talking about he's got that good structure. The structure is good, but inside the face, it's a little asymmetrical
Okay.
around the mouth. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. So I clocked him in at a 6, which this is the first one that we've had the same score on. And Joe Flacco clocks in at a 12. All right. Next guy we've got is this one was a tough one to pick who the quarterback was going to be. I wanted to go Kenny Pickett, but when Mason Rudolph starts a playoff game while Kenny Pickett is healthy, that means that Mason Rudolph is your primary quarterback. So, Kane, what do you have for Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph, I have as a 4. I just he's not that great looking in my opinion. Like he's just got a weird look on his face all the time. So I'm not here for it. You give yours, coach. I'm gonna go throw this cat in my son's room before he beats it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till you come back because I think that you will love the reaction for this. So Mason Rudolph is a guy that has had his trials and tribulations with the Steelers over the course of his career. Former second round pick has gotten different stretches of time at being the starting quarterback. Came into this year as the third string guy and then ends up, supplanting Kenny Pickett for that playoff game appearance. And I was just filling time until you got back because I thought that you would love my explanation. Mason Rudolph, I talked way too long about him. I gave him a 5 because I think that he's just kind of middle of the road. He just looks like an average guy, but he also looks like a guy who got hit in the head with a helmet.
Also, sorry about that. Preston
That's
beating
that,
up a cat.
that's fine. So Mason Rudolph clocks in at a 9. And that does it for the AFC North. Our highest score was Joe Burrow, clocking in at 19. Our lowest score was Lamar Jackson, clocking in at an 8. All right, going to the NFC North. We are going to start with Bears quarterback Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is getting a 4 from me. He has too much of a baby face for my liking. As you can see, we are two grown men with some facial hair. Gives us some age, some definition, and that's not a lot of what Justin Fields has. I just every time I look at him, it just looks like a little kid that's lost. Like, hey, you don't look like an NFL quarterback. You look like just a slightly bigger sized toddler. So that's what I got. Coach Red, what do you have for Justin Fields?
Justin Fields clocks in at a 3 for me. When I was looking at him, I was hearkening back to probably the most popular movie of the last year, and he really reminded me of someone that was in that movie, and I couldn't kick it. He reminds me of a Koopa Trooper from the Mario movie. So not doing it for me with that. So I clocked him in at a 3. Next guy we've got Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Kane, what you got for a boy Jared?
I got Jared Goff here at 2 because who's that? He is a discounted version of Ryan Gosling. Like he's the off-brand Ryan Gosling.
The Wish version.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that you can get that version of Ryan Gosling on Timu.
Yeah, he's always got that like he's got that thing where he's like one-sided on his mouth all the time too, so that kind of irks me. Um, yeah, dude, he's just not that great looking. Coach Red, what do you got for good old Goff?
With Jared Goff, I gave him a 4. But when I also look at Jared Goff, I feel like he could also be living on a beach in Hawaii, taking some glass he got out of the ocean and making artistic jewelry with it. Like that's the vibes I get with Jared Goff.
Okay,
And I didn't try to play any uh, personality into it because he's also not the smartest guy in the room. He might have gotten better since his rookie year, but I still can't get rid of him not knowing that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Just I can't get past it. But Jared Goff clocks in at a 4 for me, so a cumulative score of a 6. Next guy we've got is Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers quarterback. Kane, what do you got for Jordan?
give Jordan Love a 7. Like shockingly, man, he is he's got the light goatee, which works well for his face, right? Hair's great, just everything on him looks great. I don't see too much wrong with him. I couldn't give him an 8 because like if you give somebody an 8, it's gotta be just like damn type of feeling. And I'm not getting that from him.
Okay.
But yeah, hey, you know what? You had that reaction with Joe Burrow. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear it. So, you understand. I'm giving Jordan Love a 7, Coach Ray. What about you?
Give Jordan Love a 5. He just kind of looks like a guy that's your bro, just like your prototypical, like, oh, hey, I'm hanging out with Jordan this weekend. Wife's like, hang out with Jordan every weekend. Yeah, he's my buddy. That's kind of the vibe I get. Just kind of middle of the road type of guy.
Okay.
He lands right there in the middle. So a cumulative score of a 12.
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Next guy we've got is Minnesota Vikings. This was the toughest one because they had Josh Dobbs, they had
Jaron Hall.
yeah, Jaron Hall. I think that Simeon started a game or two for him.
Probably.
Who knows? But Kirk Cousins was a guy that started a good chunk of games for him, and they would prefer him to be the primary starter. So that's who it went with. So, Kane, what is your rating for Kirk?
Dude, Kirk Cousins is an 8 in my book. He is a great looking older gentleman. Um,
He really gets you going. You said 8 gets you going.
you know, I also put in parentheses, you like that? Just because, after that game.
Apparently, you do.
But man, dude, he just looks so well put together all the time. Like, nice little comb on his hair. And you ever see him just all flashed out, dude? That dude is great looking on team flights home when he's rocking all the chains and the glasses, all the drip. Give me more. Give me more. Coach Red, what do you got for Kirk Cousins?
I give Kirk Cousins a 6 because I think that he is a pretty good looking guy, but he also kind of gives me like sleazeball insurance salesman vibes at the same time. So it's like, hey, I'm going to upsell you on this life policy that no one's bought because I need to hit a commission. And guess what? I didn't trust that with Kirk Cousins. So that's why I gave him a 6. But he still clocks in with the top score in the NFC North with the cumulative score of 14. And the guy that ends up at the bottom is Jared Goff with the score of 6. Time to go to the AFC South. We're going to start with the offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud, quarterback of the Houston Texans. Kane, what do we got?
I'm giving CJ a 7. I think he's a strapping young lad. I think that he can always grow into more of a beard. With the little chin strap he's got going on, looks good for him. Great smile, one that kills. So I like me some CJ Stroud. Coach Red, what do you got for him?
I got a 6. I think that he's still kind of growing into his face a little bit.
Yeah.
And for me, he looks young yet mature at the same time. I think he looks a little bit well beyond his years and he gives you that comforting look. But as far as just straight hotness, it didn't kind of tilt the scale a little bit higher for me. So, cumulative score of 13 for CJ Stroud. Next guy we've got is Gardner Minshew, quarterback, Indianapolis Colts. Kane, what you got for Gardner Minshew?
I have Gardner Minshew as my 10. God, what's not to love about Gardner Minshew, man? Minshew mania, whatever you want to do. Uncle Rico, the dude, mustache kills. He's got impressive flow, keeps well maintained care of that hair. And the, he did have the mustache for a while, but then he grew out the beard. And hot damn, he's a great looking man. Give me a 10 on Gardner Minshew, aka Uncle Rico. Coach Red, what do you got?
For Gardner Minshew, I gave him a 10 as well. And
Yes.
the first perfect 10 from both of us. This is our second agreed upon ranking. And I feel like Gardner Minshew during the offseason could go be a guest star on Yellowstone and be cast as Sexy Ranch Hand. I mean, when he's coming rocking the jorts, getting the ladies
Oh, yeah.
turned.
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
This is
Oh,
our
yeah.
second sexy that I dropped in here. And that's what Gardner Minshew is. So our first 20 overall. Gardner Minshew, congratulations.
Love that. Love that from us.
Next guy we've got is Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Kane, what's your rating?
I almost gave him a 10. Almost did. But I gave him a 9 because with Trevor Lawrence, he's like almost too pretty, and he's got that crazy chick lookalike.
Yeah, he's got some flow on him for sure.
He does have some flow, but the only department that he's lacking in is the facial hair department. And he's just babyface. He's just a babyface. Couldn't give him a 10. I like me some beard. It really defines somebody. And he's just a pretty boy. That's just what he is. Coach Red, what do you got for Trevor Lawrence?
I gave Trevor Lawrence a 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I was looking at Trevor Lawrence. Just has a weird face. And my notes that I wrote down for Trevor Lawrence was, nah, fam.
That's fair.
So cumulative on Trevor Lawrence for the two of us is a 10.
Okay.
Next one we've got is Will Levis, quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. Kane.
Gave Will Levis. I gave him a 7. I think, he's got the little beard going on. It's cute, but he needs to get a little bit more maturing in, I believe, because he still looks very young, despite being like 23, something like that, 23, 24. I kind of in the CJ Stroud boat where he needs to grow into his face a little bit better. But I'm going to give him a 7. Coach Red, what do you got for Will Levis?
I give Will Levis a 4. I like the traits, like you said. He does look like he can grow into his looks a little bit more. But I also said he looks a little douchey. Like if I saw him across dim lit bar, I would look over and go, that guy's going to try to buy me a Long Island iced tea. And I don't know if I like that. So Will Levis combined score clocks in at 11. So top guy in the AFC North for us is Gardner Minshew. And at the bottom is Trevor Lawrence. All right. Heading over to the NFC South. We're going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons. And we're going with Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder is a 3. Nothing just clicks for me. I look at him and I just think he looks strange. Just kind of deer in the headlight look all the time to me, and I'm not here for that. Coach Red, what do you got for Desmond Ritter?
I gave Desmond Ritter a 2. I said
Ooh,
that he looks
okay.
like 15 to 20 years older than he actually is. His face just doesn't seem like it's put together right. It almost looks like a Picasso painting.
It's
I don't
like
like it.
it's like the curious case of Benjamin Button when you look at him, right?
Yeah, I don't like it very much. So cumulative score for Desmond Ritter for us is a 5. Next guy we've got is Bryce Young, quarterback, Carolina Panthers. Kane, where you sitting on Bryce?
I've also, I see the little trend here. I think I've given all the rookies a 7. um,
False. There's a rookie that will be coming up that you did not give a 7 to.
oh,
We'll
okay.
get there.
All right.
We'll
Oh,
get
okay.
there.
I see what you mean. Um, you know, do away with the little pencil stash you got. Grow that whole thing in. If you're gonna be giving out mustache rides, advertise it. Put that big old bush on there. Um,
Maybe he can't grow it yet. Leave him
but
alone.
but
He's a rookie.
otherwise, the bone structure, everything looks great on it, right? Believe he's got an earring as well. I'm here for it. A little one earring in there. But yeah, just give me a 7 on Bryce Young. Coach Red, what do you got for him?
I also gave Bryce Young a 7. I think that he's just a handsome little devil, little handsome fella out there. I like his hair game. I think it complements his
Yes,
face very well.
yes.
And I think that it's only going to get better with age. He's just going to keep climbing the ladder, I think, as we go along in the looks department. So, cumulative score of 14 for Bryce Young.
Alrighty.
Next guy we got is New Orleans Saints quarterback Derek Carr. Kane. Where are we
Uh,
sitting?
I'm sitting at a 1. He looks like he's from a backwater town down in like Mississippi or something like that. He, the beard game, great. It's always lying, you know, but it looks like his head, like his hair and his beard are all the same. And I just not here. He doesn't have it for me. You compare Derek to David Carr, and David Carr looks kind of more distinguished, more just put together. Derek Carr just, I just threw on this, tank top and shorts. I'm here. What's up, Coach
Yeah.
Red? What do you got?
Well, I don't like you taking shots at saying he's from backwoods of Mississippi. I might have been conceived in Mississippi, so I have a soft
I
spot, I
think
guess, for Derek
you
Carr because
were.
I had him ranked as an 8.
Oh,
Like you said, the beard game's popping. I think that he keeps a good hair length. I know that you didn't like it, but I think that he's just pretty well put together when he's looking there. He looks like a above average casual gentleman to me.
he's for me too. His eyes just always looks like he has eyeliner or something on.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. So that's a total of 9 for a cumulative score on Derek Carr for us. All right, next thing I've got is one of your favorite quarterbacks,
That's right.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield.
He's Baker Mayfield. He's a 7 in my book. I mean, gosh dang, this dude. You see him in commercials. He's all dapped up, dripped out, looking cute up there. I'm giving him a 7. I just think he's a good looking dude. Coach Red, what do you got?
I gave Baker Mayfield a 5,
Okay,
and
that's
I
fair.
think earlier in his career, and maybe even in his college days, I would have had him ranked a little higher. But now he's got the headband looking, and to me, he just looks like a guy that goes a little too hard at the gym, like puts a plate on either side and does a squat and racks it super hard. And it's like turns around to you after he busts out a set of 3 on that. It's like, do you even lift, bro? That's the vibe I get from Baker Mayfield right now. And I do think that he's got some good traits, but he also just kind of looks like that dude at the gym that you don't want to see.
That's fair.
So that's a cumulative score of 12 for Baker. So in this division, we've got our top score of Bryce Young. The only thing that he really won this year was this competition and how good he looks with a score of 14. And Desmond Ritter is at the bottom with a score of 5. All right, we are down to our final two divisions and we are headed out west. AFC West, we've got Russell Wilson, quarterback, Denver Broncos.
Gave Russ a 3. He's just like his face is super pudgy for me. Like cheeks out, everything.
Like a little chipmunk.
Yeah, and like Russ has never been set on one look. Like he's rocked the beard, he's been clean shaven, he's had his hair grown out, he's had it shaved. He is, and you told me not to do personalities, man, but his is the worst, the
Yep.
absolute worst, and it just knocks every point off for me. Give me a 3. I know he wears it on his chest every day. Well, that's exactly what you're getting from me.
Wow.
Coach Red, what do you have on Russ?
I did not take the personality into account. I give him a 7. I said he's a good looking short king, man. He's
Short
got,
Kings rise up.
yep, short king. I think he was my top rate. Him and Bryce Young tied for the top rated short king on my book in this rankings. So I gave him 7. That's cumulative score, clocking in at a 10. The next guy we've got is Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs.
I gave Pat Mahomes a 4. Uh, you know, he's not your atypical looking guy. I'll tell you that. Very dad bod esque. Um, just kind of chubby all around. But hey, some like him bigger, some like him thick, some like him thin. But with Patrick Mahomes, his face is what gets me. Honestly, I'm just like, I don't know, man, and just hearing Kermit every time he talks. So I'm gonna give him a 4. Coach Red, what do you got?
Adam clocked in at a 5. He's kind of grown on me a little bit more. I would say if we did this a year or two ago, he would have been a lower rating for me. I do like him rocking the dad bod. I think that his hair is interesting and the style that he chooses. And I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. So I just clocked him, hey, diddle diddle, right down the middle, a 5 piece for me, which is a cumulative score of 9. All right. The next guy we've got is Las Vegas Raiders quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. We
Now,
could have went with Jimmy G, who would have ranked really high, but when you get injured and then pop positive and are getting cut, guess what? You're not going to make this rating. Sorry, Jimmy.
yep.
But Aiden
Uh,
O'Connell, Kane.
I give him a 6. Now I see where you say I went a little different on the rookie, but this is a man that does advertise mustache rides. That mustache is fantastic, and he's a I'll have your daughter home by 9 o'clock, sir, type of guy. I like it. He's cute, I guess you would say. Coach Red, what do you got for good old O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell for me, you said that he looks like a guy that'll have your daughter home at 9 o'clock. He looks like a guy that's checking my receipt at Home Depot or Walmart. He's a 1 for me. The dude does not look good in any form or fashion. I He's minimum wage security guard for me, and no thank you for Aiden O'Connell for me. It's a cumulative score of 7 for him between the two of us. All right. The next guy we've got is Los Angeles Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert.
Baby Goat indeed. I'm giving Baby Goat an 8. I think that he just looks like a dapper young man. He's kind of got it on, almost has it all. He's got the weak little goatee thing going on, which, as we all know, you bump up your beard game, you're getting a higher rating.
It's got
But
some good flow.
he has fantastic flow. He's built, he's tall. What's not to like about him, to be honest? Coach Red, what do you got for Justin Herbert?
I've got him clocking in at a 6. And one thing when I was examining the facial structure of a young Justin Herbert, you know what I got? Shades of a younger looking Dan Campbell. And I couldn't
Okay.
get it out of my head. I gave him a 6. I do think that he does have a lot of good attributes. I think that he could bump it up a little bit. Maybe if he went, as you said, with the Derek Carr eyeliner and Dak Prescott beard, and shoot, this guy might be an 11. Who knows?
That
But
was
he does clock in as our top scorer in the AFC West with a cumulative score of 14. And at the bottom for us is Aiden O'Connell, clocking in with the 7. All right, last division, arguably the best division because it's the one the Seahawks are in, and that is part of the show. But we're going to start off with the Arizona Diamond, or not Diamondbacks, got baseball in the mind. Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray.
gave Kyler a 5. Again, he's just middle of the road type of dude. I'm pretty sure he rocks an afro most of the time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's too big for his size, to be honest. And also, all every the cameras never do him justice, right? He just looks like a toddler, like short and stocky, is what he is. And I'm just not a fan. He's middle of the pack for me. Coach Red, what do you got for Kyler?
I gave Kyler Murray a 2. He looks like a muscular little kid, and guess what? I don't think that little kids look hot. That's
Fair.
basically what it boiled down to for me. Like you said, there's sometimes where he's got the hair right and tight, but when he's got the fro going, God, he looks young as all get out, just like this little jacked up little toddler. And pass. That's a grand
he,
total of
he looks
7
like
for
my
Kyler Murray.
son when he's like running down the hall, just like shoulders out, just
Yep, that's exactly what it looks like to me, and I couldn't go any higher than a 2. Sorry, sorry, not sorry. All right, next guy we've got is LA Rams quarterback Matt Stafford.
I got Matt Stafford at 6. I think he's a little bit better looking than the middle of the road guy. His beard game also great, but what gets me is the hair game. The hair game just hey, I just rolled out of bed look all the time. That is what I'm getting from Matt Stafford. But you know, also he's just a quiet, calm individual. Seems like, and it just he's a dude that, as you said, Matt, kind of like with Jordan Love. He's just kind of like a pro. So that's what I got. Coach Red, what do you got?
I gave Matt Stafford a 9. And if you look at Matt Stafford in his Lion years, I'd agree with you more. But since he got to LA, I think the hair's tighter. He's rocking a tight beard game. He just got those LA vibes to him. And like you said, he's a little quiet guy. Maybe he's gonna whisper some sweet nothings into my ear, make me feel safe. I don't know,
Oh,
but maybe he will. But cumulative score on Matt Stafford, 15.
okay.
All right, the next guy we've got is 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy got a 4 for me. I think Brock Purdy has looked the same for 10 plus years. I, I don't know if there's much changing that's going to happen. Out of the 2 years that we've seen him in the league, no attempt at a beard game. Um, he just, like if you look at, let's just throw like CMC out there, right? He's dignified. He's got the beard, everything. Brock Purdy just looks like a teenager out there. So
Fair.
not for me. Coach Red, what do you got for Brock Purdy?
I gave Brock Purdy a 2. And there's something about his face. I don't like the shape of it. And I think my note was he's just not doing it for me. And I think that I'm also a little bit subject to the girl that looks like Brock Purdy. So it's a little, what's
Who's
the
the
right
girl
word
that
for it?
looks like Brock Purdy?
There's a girl that looks almost dead on like Brock Purdy, and it's weird. You'll have to check it out after the show. What's the word? I want to say amorphic, but I don't know if that's the right word, but it could be the perfect word. But he still didn't do it for me. So cumulative score for Brock Purdy, we've got a 6. All right, our final quarterback, your Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback, Geno Smith. Kane, what's your rating for Geno?
I gave Gino a 2. He just doesn't do it for me, man. It comes down to you've seen a lot of different sides of Gino as the starter, right? You've seen high and tight Gino, where he's all trimmed up, hair's all tight. And then you got crazy Gino, where his beard's kind of getting raggly out there and his hair's crazy. And then you get just kind of middle of the road Gino. I had him at a 4 to begin with, but just how he looked for most of this year didn't do it for me. So I'm giving him a 2. Coach Red, what do you got for our quarterback, Geno Smith?
I give Gino a 5. I said
Okay.
that he looks a lot better when he's running the tighter hair, a little bit shorter. I think that it makes him look a little bit more distinguished. But I said that he looks like he's got an old soul. He's just like comforting guy, but middle of the road for me. Nothing that really stands out too positive or too negative. So when we're talking about the NFC West, our top scorer is Matt Stafford clocking in at 15, and our low scorer is Brock Purdy with the score of 6. Now, what you've all been waiting for, we've thrown out a lot of numbers throughout here, but we're going to start off with the bottom 3. And there was a tie for second to last between Brock Purdy and Jared Goff. And our lowest point score was Desmond Ritter. Sorry, Desmond. And
Old
this
man in a young man's body.
this is a guy that I feel really bad for because not only did he lose this competition, but he's probably losing his starting job as well. So sorry, Desmond. This isn't a good time for you, buddy. I apologize.
No, not
Don't
at all.
don't blame me. Blame the game. All right. Now we're gonna go to the hottest guys. I put the top 5 down here. We did have a tie for 4th overall, which was broken by Kane's wife. In 5th place, we've got LA Matt Stafford. In 4th, we've got Jalen Hurts, the good looker from Philly. Then we've got at the 3 spot, Ty France lookalike, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Number 2, we've got probably the drippiest guy out there, Joe Burr, Natty Bengals. And sex symbol galore from the Indianapolis Colts, one that really just gets us all bricked up.
That's right.
Gardner Minshew. Man, if there were more quarterbacks coming out in jorts, you would rock yourself up this ranking. So think about that for next year if we do this again.
Okay. I like it. I like it. This was a fun one. This really was.
Yep. And I'd really like it if you gave us a little follow over on social media. You can find me, your boy, Coach Red, on X at The Real Coach Red, on Instagram at The Real _ Coach Red, TikTok at The Real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, smash that subscribe button.
That's right.
Bell notifications. Leave a comment or 2. Kane, where you at?
You can find me over on Twitter at K2406, on YouTube at K06, TikTok K0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it, freaking do it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.